Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Talking Halos. I'm your host today, Jared Timms, and I am joined alongside my co-host, my partner in crime, Nate Green. Nate, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Jared. How about you?
You're doing well?
Yes, I am doing well.
It's good. It's good.
I gotta be positive, right? Somebody's gotta be.
Nah, we can be positive. We can complain a little bit. We can be positive. Question for you. I got a good show on. I don't know if it's a question. Got a good show on Netflix for you.
What is it?
Shoresy.
Shoresy. All right, I'll check it out.
Yeah, give that a watch. It's pretty good.
I'll check it out.
It's pretty good. So, guys, as always, thank you all so much for listening to this podcast, good or bad. Just want to thank you all so much again for listening here at Talking Halos, again, making us the best Angels podcast out there. If you could follow us on all of our social media accounts, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Subscribe wherever you're listening or watching. Hello, YouTube. How are you doing? You can follow myself on Twitter at Jared_Timms. You can follow Nate at NateGreen34. And guys, don't forget Blue Wire. Okay, so if you're looking at the podcast, go ahead and head over to Blue Wire. So Nate's. When it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's bad. Right now,
there's no in between.
Right now, it's not good. Actually, no, that would be in between. Not good is in between, right? In between.
No, the sky is falling. If you check Twitter, the sky is falling. I think the sky's been falling for about 2 days.
I'm not worried. Are you worried? I mean, again, like some of our listeners here have pointed out, should I be worried because we're getting closer to your win total for the year?
You don't want that. That would be terrible for you.
We wouldn't want that. No, but I mean, seriously though, like think about it. Like we got played a tough team. You know, you're coming off a split against Texas. You're just playing some tough baseball. You got to get healthy again, right? Yeah, Anthony Rendon, who's missing. Taylor Ward finally seems to be healthy again. Had the scary incident with Kurt Suzuki, and I know Kurt Suzuki is Kurt Suzuki, but you never ever want that to happen. What we saw, that was a scary incident, and we won't even bring it up. But you got some pitchers that you need to get healthy. Austin Warren, Jose Quijada just came off the IL. The rotation's looking good still. That is a plus. The rotation looks fine, and I'm good with that. The offense is starting to be the offense again, though I'd like to see Anthony Rendon back. And the bullpen has just had a tough week. I mean, that's the best way to put it right now. The bullpen has had a tough week.
Yeah, sure.
Overused. It's misused.
Sure.
Right? Can we agree on those last two?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not going to disagree with you on either of those, but I am going to point out that the Angels are playing a real team for the first time in a long time. So, yes, there is some like, oh, hey, it's okay. The bullpen was mismanaged, the way the game went just, it didn't fall the Angels' way. But that's what happens when you play a good team. It was unbelievable. I was at the game on Friday. The Blue Jays made so many mistakes, and they still won the game. That should not happen.
Now, why do you
3 errors?
Why do you think they still won, though? What is the difference then between the Angels, who played a good game, I guess, on Friday, you can say, in a sense. They played a game.
Let's say it was a very sloppy game. It was a very sloppy game.
They played an average game. The Jays played a below average game. All right, we can say that for the sake of it. What's the difference then?
I think the biggest difference, and everyone's going to get super upset with me, but Alex Manoah did not have his best stuff that night. He did not. He still figured a way to get his team deep into the game. You look at what he did early on, was getting hit around. He outlasted Silseth. He went 6 innings. He gave up 3 runs. Did not have his best stuff. They made 2 errors behind him, maybe a third error. I know they made 3 errors in the game. I don't remember if the third error was with the bullpen in the game, but they definitely made at least 2 errors behind him. So not only did he not have his good stuff, he was struggling to get help defensively, and he still made it through 6 innings. I think that is the biggest difference between teams that are World Series contenders and teams that are World Series pretenders, are when their pitchers don't have their stuff, they can still go out there and get jobs done. I mean, we see it all the time with the Angels when their guys go out there. If they don't have it, it's 2 innings, 3 innings. If they have it, they're going 7, 6, 7, hopefully 8 innings if it's Syndergaard, maybe a 9th inning if it's Ohtani, Syndergaard, Lorenzen's done it once. But, like, we've had way too many outings where it's 2 innings. And Manoah was very close, like, to being a 3-inning guy that night. Like, they were hitting him. They were getting guys in scoring position. They couldn't get that one big hit. But I think that was a huge difference in the series, too.
Here's the difference between the Jays and the Angels, bullpen wise, is that the Angels have Jaime Barria and Ollie Ortega who can go eat those innings. I don't think the Jays do. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't think they have those guys.
Can do
David
it.
Phelps came in the 9th today. Like,
he did, but that was because Romano had thrown all week. You know,
yeah.
It's tough when you have to throw 3 days in a row.
So did every Angels reliever too. So I mean, right?
Yes, for the most part, yes. Which is tough. That's why he got the off day today. But no, he has been able to get to, like, he was a starter at one point. He has traditionally been that Jaime Barria guy. I know he's had some years where he's been good, so he's kind of been more of a 1-inning guy, but he can go multiple innings. I think that's huge, though, to have a guy like that where you're not taxing the entire bullpen. It's like, hey, man, you did not have your best stuff. You still went out there. He had 9 Ks. Like, you'll look at it on paper and you're like, man, this guy had a pretty good outing. But, like, he did not have that good of an outing. So that was big for the entire series. If the Angels are able to get him out in the 3rd or 4th inning, like you would hope, that changes the entire series. Because even if the Blue Jays win that game, they have to use, 4 or 5 different relievers that probably would have had to pitch again, where I think Simber threw 1 time today, gave up a home run, but he's been one of their better relievers, and he threw once this series.
I just thought it was like a screwed up series in general as well. Like, I just thought that anything that could go wrong did go wrong, and anything that could happen did happen in a sense in this entire series. It just felt like that, and it just felt like every bounce, maybe not every bounce, but it felt like every bounce went the Blue Jays' way. Can we somewhat agree on that? Like, just felt like, Loop came in, and obviously Loop hasn't been the dude that the Angels assigned him to be as of late, but Loop came in, and it was like, oh man, that's tough. You saw Iglesias come in once, and it was like, uh-oh. You saw Tepera come in and give up some runs. I mean, it just seemed like anything that could happen did happen. It was just one of those series. Like, I don't have an answer for you on this series at all, to be honest, at the end of the day. Though we did say this, right? We did say this last week. The Angels just need to play 500 baseball in the month until July 1st, correct? Like, that's where we're just play 500 baseball. Like, and that's why I'm not worried at all. Like, yeah, okay, you started this stretch off kind of tough. It is what it is. You're 4 games under 500 right now with that stretch. Though we said we would have liked to seen the Angels take that 2nd game against Texas.
Yes.
Which was a tough game as well. But the Angels just need to play 500 baseball until July. Like, that's all you got to do. You go take 2 or 3 in New York, which doesn't seem easy right now because New York is very good, and the Angels haven't played horrible, but the bullpen is not what it needs to be to go win games against a very good team, and we saw it this week in this 4-game series. Like, just plain and simple as that. The bullpen was bad for the most part. I mean, Jaime Barria, I thought, pitched well. Thought Jimmy Herget pitched his ass off. But other than that, I mean, even a couple starters, it was like, eesh, that's not good. Like, just let's just say Angels pitching in general just wasn't where it needed to be. Though, I didn't think they played bad. I really didn't. I just thought that any bounce that could go the Angels' way did not go the Angels' way, and it just, the Blue Jays had an answer for everything. They really did. The Blue Jays were a better team. You want me to say it? That's kind of where it was, right?
Yeah, and they're going to go play a team that is better than the Blue Jays. So this is going to be a tough week for the Angels. They've got to take the off day. They're going to travel on Monday, and they've got to regroup and get ready to go on Tuesday because the Yankees are not going to just let them walk in and take the series. I know that for sure. The Yankees are going to play tough.
And the Angels have actually played very well in New York lately. I feel like I could be wrong. Don't go look at the stats on that, anybody.
I was going to say, I think it was pre-2010. They were like one of the best teams in New York, and then post-2010, they haven't been as good.
Yeah, I mean, still. I feel like the Angels play well in New York, so I'm not concerned about that in general. I'm just concerned Angels need to have a much needed off day. I'll say that. You 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 throw your two aces against the best team in baseball right now, right? You go Syndergaard and Ohtani. Ohtani's last start in New York was forgettable. I think he gave up 9 or something like that.
Yep, right before the All-Star break.
Yep. So there is that. However, I'm not too worried right now. You don't have to face anybody crazy. You face Nestor Cortez, who's one of the best pitchers in baseball. You face Jamison Tyon, and you face Jordan Montgomery, I think it was, as well. So I like what the Angels have moving forward here against the Yankees. I am again with you here. The Angels don't have to face an ace, though. Well, Nestor Cortez, I take that back. Nestor Cortez has been.
He's not an ace.
He's not an ace. He's not an ace, but he's been damn good this year.
That's fine, but he's not an ace.
He's not. He's not Garrett Cole.
He's not. He's pitched fine. He's done really well, but he's not an ace. So, and I remember the text message beforehand. Before the season, I think we were talking about Yankees starting pitching, and you laughed at me when I mentioned Nestor Cortez. Oh. I'll go back and find that text. Oh. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I'll find that text. Don't worry. It'll be in there somewhere.
Whoa. Easy.
Yeah. So you're going from Nestor Cortez, not really starter, to Nestor Cortez is like an ace. So I don't know. We can't just pick because he's
You're putting me on the spot here. So Nate, no more complaining about the Blue Jays series. That's in the past now. You get the day off tomorrow. In fact, no baseball at all tomorrow, which is going to be extremely tough. No Memorial Day baseball at all for the Angels organization. Minor leagues has the off day, and the Angels also have an off day. So not a lot going on Monday, which if you're listening to this is today. We record on Sunday, so I apologize for making it sound weird. But Nate,
only 4 teams are not playing on Memorial Day too. That's so weird.
That's very weird. I don't like that. It's like not playing on 4th of July.
Everyone should just play.
Everybody needs to play on Memorial Day. Everybody needs to play on 4th of July. You just gotta do it. So let's talk about what the Angels need to do moving forward. I think we kind of touched on it a little bit, but let's break it down a little bit more. What do the Angels need to do? There's 2 questions to this. What do the Angels as in players need to do, and what does Joe Maddon need to do? Because I think you need to differentiate those 2, because I think the Angels as players have been good, and I think Joe Maddon has been average. Is that fair to say that? Like, I know we've talked about this a lot.
It is, but it's also the players should have a little bit of say in this, because like you might not be putting some of them in the right situation, but we're paying some of them that kind of money. So if you're going to take that kind of money, you better be able to get outs whenever we ask you to get outs, or you better be able to hit wherever we're asking you to hit. So, yes, it is partly on Joe Maddon, but I don't think the players are getting any hype, or excuse me, not hype. They're not getting any slack for this. It's all like, this is really Joe Maddon's fault. Joe Maddon's really not doing a great job managing. It's like, I mean, you can say it's Joe Maddon's fault, but the players still have to go out there and perform. We have a top 10 payroll in Major League Baseball. Like, it's not like we're just, Oakland or Baltimore or Pittsburgh, where it's the bottom 5 payroll in baseball. We have a high payroll, and we are paying some guys a lot of money. These guys need to perform. It is what it is. So, yes, I do say Joe Maddon gets some of the blame, but he cannot get all of the blame, because when he presses the right buttons, he gets absolutely no credit. When he presses the wrong buttons, which could be the exact same buttons he was pressing earlier, he is going to get all the blame. So, yes, I understand what you're saying, but I think from the player situation, these guys need to perform. They need to step up. They need to make plays when they're asked to. They need to make pitches when they're asked to. I think that's the biggest thing. It needs to be next man up. And
that's
everyone.
That's how it felt for a little while. Fletcher
did.
went down, and it was like, Velasquez is that guy, or Tyler Wade is that guy, or Matt Duffy is that guy. And then the Angels went through some injury issues, sick COVID issues, whatever. And then it was like,
Yep.
Now it just seems like they've kind of gone away from that. So they definitely.
Yeah, it really feels like the Angels are like, the injury bug has hit us. Like we're not supposed to win.
Woe is me.
Huh?
woe is me.
Yeah. It's like, well, if we're not really supposed to win, we have Anthony Rendon out. Ohtani was banged up a little bit. Austin
Lord.
Warren, who's been really good for us, he's been banged up. And all of a sudden, it's excuse after excuse after excuse. And you go and look at a team we're about to play in the New York Yankees, and they're not 100% healthy. They're not. Giancarlo Stanton's on the IL. Josh Donaldson's on the IL. Aroldis Chapman's been hurt. Jonathan Loaisiga, who was one of the best pitchers in baseball in the bullpen last year, he's hurt right now. Chad Green, one of their best pitchers, is hurt right now. Like, they have a lot of injuries, and that's just the Yankees, who have the best record in baseball. You can go to the Dodgers, who also have one of the best records in baseball. Kershaw's been banged up. Max Muncy's been banged up.
Max Muncy's also been bad. Man.
Exactly. They're still winning games with all of this chaos around them. And I think that's kind of something that the players can do, is get to that next man up and just be like, hey, I might not be the guy for this situation, but I'm going to get it done. I probably, maybe I'm not supposed to be pitching in the 7th or 8th inning, but I'm going to get this job done so we can win the game. That's what it needs to be. Or maybe I'm not the guy to hit a home run, but Tyler Wade hit a home run the other day, and I don't know if people thought he was going to hit a home run all year. So, like, things like that, where it's like, just step up and make plays when you need to. Tyler Wade, again, he should not be playing right field. He struggled out there. We got Juan Lagares up, and he has struggled a little bit. Like, we just need guys to be up there and grind and be willing to make plays when their number's called. When we talk about Joe Madden and what he needs to do, I think he needs to put guys in the best situation to succeed. And, like, obviously we've talked about it. The bullpen has been misused a little bit. Loop is not really a high leverage guy. He's more of a 6th, 7th guy, more likely a 6th inning guy against a really good lefty. Not an 8th or 9th guy. Tepera is more of that 7th inning guy. The Angels need to find that 8th inning guy. And if it's in the trade market, that's fine. If it's Ollie Ortega, that's fine. Like, he's shown that he's pitched good enough when he only has to get 3 outs. And he's actually pitched well when he's had to get 6 outs. So that is the biggest thing with Joe Madden. He needs to continue to put guys in a position to succeed. I did see that this week's road trip has a little bit of a theme to it, so that'll be fun. I think that needs to come back. Like, they need to have a little bit of fun. It's been a while since they've had some fun. And I think Joe Madden kind of realized that and was like, all right, boys, we're going to have a little bit of fun this road trip. Everyone's going to dress up, and we're going to, we're going to go into New York and take care of business. So I think Joe's doing a great job. I know people are going to be like, oh, this is all Joe Madden's fault, this and that. He's done bad with the bullpen. I mean, you're paying guys $9 million a year. They better get outs. You're paying guys $15 million a year. They better get the job done. So, yes, we can blame Joe Madden, but when we're paying guys the amount of money we're paying some of these guys to get outs and they're not getting outs, it's really, really hard to blame Joe Madden. Because if for some reason we were paying Aaron Loop, $1 million, $2 million, and he's pitching in the 8th or 9th inning, and he wasn't getting the job done, okay, fine. We're not paying him $1 or $2 million. He needs to be a guy who can get outs whenever we ask him to. Same with Ryan Tepera. Go ahead.
You good?
I think I'm good now. So
you got that off your chest. Just want to make sure you got it off your chest. Okay, cool. Very good. No, that's exactly. I mean, you went from having fun and you went from having fun at the beginning of the season to it's a job to you need to get back to having fun again. I mean, I think at the end of the day, and this is going to sound stupid, but as former players, you understand when it goes from having fun to being a job, that's when you don't have fun anymore, obviously. Like, that's a weird, like, easy thing to get a concept of, but you need to find a way from going from having a job to having fun again. And I think that, I mean, winning solves that, yes, but you got to find a way. Like, there's got to be something. There's got to be something in the background to do, and you got to trust Joe Madden in that situation.
That is what Joe does.
Yeah. And again, I'm not saying that's the answer to all. So most people that are listening are like, Jared, you're being an idiot for this. But as a former player, and this too, at the end of the day, if you're having fun, you're winning. And if you're winning, you're having fun. And right now, they're not winning. They're not having fun. And they're not having fun, so they're not winning.
Yep.
Weird twists there. But Yeah, no, I'm in full agreement with you. So, what else you got? Sam Bachman got hurt. It's always fun to hear that. He's a reliever. We're gonna go back and forth on that one, but
My stance will not change. Yours will change every
no,
15 minutes.
well,
Mine will not.
It comes down to the changeup for Bachman.
Yeah, that's not the easiest pitch to learn. I think that's probably the hardest pitch to learn, actually. So I'm going to stick with mine. He's a reliever.
He floats the changeup up there right now, and that's the tough part about it. However, Kai Busch is ready. I'll tell you that much. I know you don't believe me in that one, but I just watched what I watched in his last start was as close to what I saw from Reed Detmers and Chase Silseth before they got called up. Like if you give me one more start like that, it's like, all right, Perry, let's go. Like Kai Busch needs to come up. I don't know where he fits, but you need to find a spot for him because he's going to help this team. And same thing with Silseth. Like I don't know if Silseth has a bad start or two, then maybe you send him back down or something. But yeah, Kai Busch is ready. I'll tell you that much. I know. Again, you're not going to believe me, but just what I saw.
No, I'm not going to believe you. He's Reed Detmers right now, and like that's fine, but we already have that, and we kind of know what Reed Detmers is. So he's a guy who's going through some growing pains, and if you want to win playoff games, you can't have 3 or 4 Reed Detmers right now.
I like Chase Silseth.
I think Silseth has more upside right now than both those guys.
I want to see Silseth in the pen. Actually, that would be interesting. You move Silseth to the pen.
He's got the velo as a starter. He's got the devastating splitter. His slider's been good. I think that he has earned his job, and he has shown more signs of being good than he's shown his ceiling could be higher than Reed Detmers. That's what I'm going to say. And people are going to be like, oh, Reed Detmers, number one prospect in the Angel system, this and that. I have seen more from Chase Silseth in a short amount of time that proves that he can get outs no matter what than I have out of Reed Detmers.
Stuff-wise, I agree.
That's what I'm talking about, stuff-wise.
But pure pitching ability, I give it to Reed Detmers, and that's why
that can be learned. I
don't think that can be learned. I think you can teach. I think you can teach stuff. I don't think you can teach pure pitching ability.
I think you can teach him how to pitch.
I don't think so.
And it happens all the time. I mean, you look at it. CC Sabathia was a pure stuff guy. Loses velo and becomes a guy who can pitch. Right? Verlander had to learn how to pitch again. It happens. Yes, it's not easy.
I'm trying to think of who is a good example of this. Just pure ability, but just could not. I take that back. Yeah, no, just pure ability, but just wasn't there mentally. And that's what it seems like the Angels had been in the past, was just pure ability, but doesn't have the pitch ability, Yeah. Like you go up there and you can just go chuck it. But I don't think, not saying that Chase Silseth doesn't have pitch ability at all, because I think that Chase Silseth does a very good job. And I think he's an athlete, and I think he has enough of that pitch ability and that in their mind, like, smarts, like how you and I have in a sense, but we don't have that ability, obviously. Like we're not Reed Detmers. We don't throw 90 plus miles an hour.
The closest guy that you will find is Alex Meyer. And that was a long time ago. Came from a different organization. That's the last guy who had like the 98 plus and just couldn't throw strikes.
Well, I think you see it. I think you see it a lot in the Angels organization with position players at the moment, which is like Trent DeVoe, like Jordan Adams for a little while, Joe Adell, like just that pure stupid ability, but just don't quite understand how to play baseball yet. Like that's something that. Yes, okay, fine. I take it back. You can learn that over time, but like it's not something easily learned, and that's why again Joe Adell's not up. Like again, I'm not saying that Jordan Adams isn't smart on the baseball field or anything like that, but that's why we've seen such slow development because he hadn't played all that much. Trent DeVoe, who had he was a top 10 prospect in the Angels organization, and just can't put it together. Like I just.
But those guys aren't in the big leagues. Putting up good numbers, like Silseth, very average numbers.
Exactly. That's what Joe Adell's missing, though. Is that? Yeah,
but Silseth has shown signs of being really, really good.
Yes.
Granted, he has thrown against 2 AAA lineups and also arguably a top 3 lineup in baseball and kind of had not quite the same success, but he has shown signs of being really good. So I would rather put my eggs in his basket than I would in a Kyle Busch or even a Reed Detmers right now, because Reed Detmers, like, he's still learning. He's still learning how to pitch. And, like, yes, he has better pitch ability right now, but he is still learning when to throw each pitch and how to throw each pitch. Where still Seth, because he throws 97 plus, like, hey, if I miss with my fastball, I can still beat a guy. And that's something that is nice to have when, Reed Detmers throws 92, and if he misses, it's, usually an extra base hit.
That's fair. That's fair. So, Nate, you got any final thoughts before we let everybody go? I don't know. We want to predict this next series. I know you're going to say Yankee sweep, right?
We'll do that tomorrow.
That's fine.
We'll do that tomorrow.
That's cool with me. So, guys, as always, I want to thank you all so much for listening to this podcast, listening to us rant a little bit. I know that, it wasn't complaining like you see on Twitter and what everybody wants to hear from us, but I mean, we're not pressing the panic button yet by any means. I don't think. I think that this team has still got a lot of stuff left, and I think they got a lot of fight left up their sleeves. So, again, thank you all so much for listening to this podcast here at Talking Halos, again, making us the best Angels podcast out there. Go follow us wherever you are listening or watching. You can follow myself on Twitter at Jared_Timms. You can follow Nate at NateGreen34. And guys, thank you so much for listening, and have a great rest of your day.